Promise I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, and welcome back into Pregaming. Monday to Friday here at Sports Money, 6 p.m. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Hopefully you guys are getting those bets in and getting ready to go have some fun with maybe some Halloween parties tonight. Why not? It's Thursday. Thursday's connected to Friday. It's the bridge to the weekend. You might as well enjoy yourself. You got Thursday night football in play. What the hell? It's almost fall is in the air at this point now. It's almost winter up here now. But we have a gorgeous 75-degree day, and I'm getting a notice that says temps to plummet. So if you're in the Northeast, enjoy yourselves tonight. It's going to get cold. Thank you guys for dropping in, hanging out tonight. It's only right we go back at it, try to attack. It's Thursday. That means we get our guy Miggity Mac Daddy in the house, ready to attack with us as well. And you know what we're going to do tonight? We're going to cover the NHL. We've got NBA action, one college football game, have one look in college football, maybe a live bet spot for you guys as well. And Thursday night football, we're going to attack a teaser and a touchdown parlay prop for you guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show. Transparency is the most important thing here, and yesterday was not its finest. Let's see. Where to start. The Islanders lost. The Detroit under 6, I think, lost. Tampa was the lone bright spot of the day. Talked about firing on that Avalanche team. It was a bad spot, and it certainly was. Was it 3-0 early, I believe was the case. Lakers got busted up. The Celtics got busted up. The Clippers got busted up. And Atlanta got busted up. But Jacksonville busted them up as well. So, every time I start talking about records, things start to plummet. I'm superstitious. I'm one of those guys. I don't care. Some people say, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. If there's something you do and you know it doesn't work for you, stop doing it. But today's a new day. We live to fight another day, and I'm pretty fired up for the card we have tonight. It's a nice, lengthy NHL slate. Boy, you look over on that side of the screen, predominantly filling up that corner, Aaron Rodgers, and he's back in action again tonight. This guy, he just won't go away. He just won't go away. I feel bad for all you Jets fans out there too, man. This is, we'll see what he does tonight with these Houston Texans, CJ Stroud and the boys coming into town. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be fun to talk about all of that. Special announcement for everybody that wants to get in the game. We're going to have a little Breeders' Cup action going on here with Sports Money. We're going to take our foray into horse racing. We got some Friday action. Ramon Scott, Keith from Each Every Stride are going to be joining in to share their best bets, the way they're going to attack the card and try to get paid Friday. And then they're going to run it back on Saturday. We got a big show Saturday. It's going to be a long day. I'm going to be involved with them on Saturday, popping off, I believe, at 2:45 for the first race that starts at 3. Then we have UFC that pops off at 5:15. And we're going to be dual stream. It's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be a busy, busy day, but different strokes for different folks. I'm excited to see what we can do with the ponies. Normally the straps are my thing, but I'm going to give it a shot. Give it a shot with these fellas here, with these two guys, these extraordinary horse cappers. How can I go wrong? How can you go wrong? We'll have some fun, gas up the TVG accounts or whatever it is that you have out there for horse racing, and get ready to have some fun. We pop off, well, I guess I should say they pop off tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. They'll roll till about 9 p.m. And, we'll cover lots of things in there. After pre-gaming, I'll jump on the stream with them boys and we'll talk some sports bets. We'll talk some horse racing bets. We'll get ready for Saturday. We'll talk some UFC. We're talking all. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of airtime for sports money, and that's where we do it best. Live streams, live shows, getting the best of the best in there to share their favorite looks out there to help everybody cook the books. So get ready. Get ready. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm fired up for it. I've been in the studio today doing some things back and forth, getting ready for it. Can't wait to go live with those fellas, and I always enjoy sharing the screen with them boys. And of course, we'll be back and ready to attack with the UFC. So we definitely need your guys' help. And it starts with the thumbs up button. Want to make sure that they know we're here. We're getting it done. We're on the regular. We're building more content, trying to get out there and just cash winning bets and sharing all the knowledge everybody has together in this collaborative, this community to make that cash. So please do me that favor. If you haven't done so yet, hit the thumbs up button. Close the comments. Click the thumb, preferably the one that's up, and then open the comments back up. And we'll start this show and we'll get her running. Want to make sure we get cleared up and ready for our guy, Miggity Matt, to join us here very shortly. Let's go. You know the deal. Hit that thumbs up. Step 1. Step 2, get your pen and paper ready. Step 3, put your best bets in the chat so we can talk about getting this cash. Shout out to all you guys already commenting here. I got stuck in the middle of the comments and I see Dan Kelly right off the hop. Take off that scary mask. This ain't no Mission Impossible movie. This is me, baby. This is me. This is what you get. It's what you see is what you get. And speaking of what you see is what you get, we got the first commenter in here. It's Joe T. And he's going over in this Texans and Jets game. Stop the show right there, Joe T. Have you not been watching Aaron Rodgers? Have you not seen what pile of shit that he is? Joe T, who's going to score all them points? It's got to be the Texans, right? Texans win 43-0. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you're thinking, Joe T? I'm curious. I guess it'd be 44-0, right? Because they score 6 touchdowns, 6 extra points, makes it 42. And then Aaron Rodgers gets a safety to make it 44-0. Is that what you're saying, Joe T? Is that what we're talking about here? Shout out to our guy, Keith. He's rocking. He'll be rolling tomorrow and Saturday. Big weekend for Keith. He's got Devontae Adams. Anytime touchdown. He got it boosted up to plus 209. A few weeks with the playbook now. Says, let's go. Love that look. Especially when we've got a little Lazard factor. Lazard's going to be out for the next 2 to 4 weeks, I believe, and then they will reevaluate that guy. Shout out to NJ Striker. Shout out to AOD. Says, tonight, we fuck the bookies in the eye hole. My guy Gonzo's in the house. Says, hope everyone has a fun and safe Halloween. Got a few minutes before I take the kids trick-or-treating and make them pay their dad tax. Snickers bars, right? Baby Snickers. What are you guys' favorites? What are your favorite miniature Halloween candy treats out there? Curious to hear what you guys have. Throw them in the chat. Love to see that conversation. I'm probably Snickers. I'm probably Snickers. Or, I don't mind a Nestle Crunch bar. I'm not a big chocolate guy, but when Halloween rolls around, what you gonna do? Who doesn't like some Starburst? Maybe some Nerds? I don't know. Nerds were okay when I was younger, but getting older, I want to put my teeth through that process. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Gonzo's got Washington in regulation out there. All about them. Nips is in the house. All my windows are open because it's 75 degrees. So I just realized there's probably kids rolling around the neighborhood. Shout out to you. All about them Nips. And Gonzo's got Washington -1 in regulation. There's my dude, Jay Peasy. I was going back and forth with Jay Peasy this afternoon. Jay Peasy, I don't know where the time goes, my man. All of a sudden, it's 4 hours later, and I'm going, whoa, we got stuff to do. Shout out to Old E. He's rolling with us. Mr. Vape says the intro reminds me of the show Ballers. You know what, Mr. Vape? That's a great call. That's a great call. That's a really great call, man. I didn't even think about that until now. What a great show. I was just talking about that show with a friend this past weekend. Never saw it. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? You've never seen it? I don't know. I like The Rock. He's a good dude. Seems like a good dude. JW says, never feel bad for Jose. I told Jose the other day, man, these guys in production, it's not an easy gig. Shout out to Jerry Davis says, I'm going to quit every day but Saturday, tear up Saturday, and just suck mostly every other day. Been pretty consistent all season. Oh, man. All About That Nip says, Peasy, congrats on the Dodgers. What a big Dodgers spot. Big win for them. But, man, I was talking to LJ earlier today. He was talking about the live bet down 5-0. You could just feel it slipping away. I kind of had the one eye here, one eye there deal. And I saw the bases get loaded, and I was like, yep, this game's over. I didn't live bet it, though. I stayed true to my word. Did not live bet it. Did get the Stanton base, but it's only because he went bomb stick there. And All About the Nips says, let's go Jets Jets. Can't believe I'm betting them again. I can't do it. I'll show you how I'm going to attack that game. I can't do it. And I tried not to let this scumbag on the side of the screen here dissuade my cap. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I won't do it. Can't do it, won't do it, not going to do it. But I'll tell you how I'm attacking that game because I do have some action in there to get us paid. Chris Sella, he's ready to go. Let's go, J-Dub. This is good. I'm tired of the bookies cooking me. Nunya says, Stroud over 35.5, the longest completion. There's our guy, Subhuman Gauchos in the house. He'll be live with us on Saturday. You know, he's going to be ready to go. Nunya says, Texans going to win this shit. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to win this shit. It's a weird number, though. It's a weird number. I can't wait to talk to you guys about that. NJ Striker says, I got CJ. I'm benching him tonight. That just reminded me I've got to update my NFL plays. Got to update them plays out there. Then he says a shutout must be $1 million. I don't know. Tarek B says you should dress up like Aaron Rodgers for Halloween. What would that be? Put an asshole on my face and walk around with it? That guy's fucking terrible, man. Vodka tonic. NJ Striker says yum. Nathan Cerna says Mikey eating Thanksgiving meal early. My friend mashed potatoes, mac, and buffalo wings. Ooh, wait. I get down with some of that. That's all the staples right there. Mashed potatoes, mac, and buffalo wings, huh? I ate early this morning. I haven't eaten since, so that might be problematic for me as we roll on. Joe T says, look what happened on Monday night. Giants scored enough. They can't score, and the Jets are 4-3 to the over. Hey, I isolate Monday. I was in the right spot on that Monday deal. I was on the right spot. I just, I can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Not going to do it. Can't get after it. Gary Davis says, I doubt at Joe T all the time to my bankroll demise, it seems. I think this is a dead underspot, but I'm probably wrong. Entire Houston offense out and wind warning. Huge. That wind. They say more than anything, the wind matters more than the rain or the snow. It's the wind. You know, you think about it too, when they're throwing balls 30 yards down the field. Wind can certainly play a factor in all of that. Shout out to Kelly McKinnis in the house. He's rocking with us. Nunya says Texans winning. And Big Scott likes the Houston and under 49 teaser. Stroud under passing yards for Jay Main. Barry's in the house. Stroud over 8.5 rushing yards. I didn't play it, but one of the highest rated touchdown props across the models I have in place is CJ Stroud to run one in there tonight. Now, I haven't played it yet, I guess is the best way I should say it. 66 Slammies in the house. Appreciate you guys hanging out, rocking with us here. Let's get to work. Huh? Let's go after it. Let's make some money back from yesterday and get ourselves stacked up high for Friday and moving into this weekend. And we're going to open her up. You guys know the deal here. When it's Thursday, I have to think about what day it was here for a second. When it's Thursday, we got our guy C-Mac in. So we keep a little more casual, a little more cash on the graphics. And that's just damn okay with me because it saves me a little bit of time. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to give you guys the spots that I think are great opportunities here. And we're going to start in the NHL. Why not? Why not us? Why not the NHL? Why not have a good opportunity here? Are the dogs barking today? Are the dogs barking today? Well, let's start and let's talk about these games. Let's get into the first game we've got on deck. What the hell's going on here? It's funny, I always get right to the minute, and then I got to hit the go live button, and I still got all my other screens open and rolling. So let's start at 7 p.m. And let's start with the Ducks and the Penguins game. And we got a lot of money pouring in on the over. A lot of money coming in, 6.5. And the question is that number too low? We talked about this Penguins team the other day. They love to let goals in there. And fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me even more. But this Penguins team is fucking terrible right now. Terrible. Lost. They just lost to Minnesota on the Andre Fleury night, 5-3 out there. Talked to our guy Gonzo. I know he was all over that. And a day's rest doesn't do them any good. We've got now the 4th straight road game for the Anaheim Ducks. Didn't start out well. Devils and Rangers losses. They cooked the Islanders. We were on that Duck spot there. That was a nice little plus 205 opportunity for us. Now they're rolling into Pittsburgh. Pretty clean report, ultimately. Penguins have Nito out. Brian Rust is out, but that really hasn't changed. And John Gibson being out for the Anaheim Ducks is business as usual for them boys out there. And, we look at goaltenders here. Here's where I think this number is a little deceiving. Fucking unconfirmed. Can't we get some confirmations out here? Can we get our shit together, NHL? What we got is Lucas Dostal, expected but unconfirmed, and he's been the crown jewel of this Ducks goaltending rotation. Not only do they have sharp jerseys, but this guy's 4-2-1. He's got a 2.0 goals against average and a 94.3% save percentage. If he can shave down that goals against average a smidge, those would be Vezina trophy numbers. Best goalie in the league numbers. Now, he's going to have some competition, right? We saw Hellebuck again. Shout out to Hellebuck and them Capitals or them Jets yesterday. Everybody. Oh, when teams lose once, they lose twice. Come on. Stop that nonsense. Who came up with that model? Who came up with that bullshit model? I don't know. It's the same thing with the back-to-back spots. I don't know if I believe in all that. But the same side on the other deal here with the Penguins, they're going to Nedeljkovic, who's terrible. 0-2-1. Can't find that elusive W. 2 reasons why they can't find the W. 1, he couldn't stop a beach ball right now. He's got 3.93 goals against average and an 87.4% save percentage. And 2, they're not scoring. They've been outscored 27-13 over the 6-game losing streak they're on. 0-5-1 in that sample. It's ugly. Now, Nedeljkovic's played okay in some spots. He's a flashy kind of spot guy out there. But look, I'll get right to the point with you guys. First and foremost, over should definitely be in play if you're looking at it. The Ducks in a road dog spot versus off a home game and an over are 23-11 to the over. And you got T scumbag that can't stop a beach ball in Nedeljkovic. I was looking at that team total. I saw 2.5. I thought about bumping it up to 3.5 on the Duck side of things, just knowing that they're not scoring. But then I thought, well, you know what? How about this? This is one from last year. Revenge spot on the road, a Western Conference dog that just came off a win against an Eastern Conference favorite. That's 21-0 on the puck line. That's 18-1 straight up. You want a little intersecting zero opportunity. The Penguins off a loss, their opponents off a win, and they're a home favorite. They're struggling. They're 0-9 on the puck line as well. Yeah, we're going to go back to them. We're going to see if we can catch another big dog, another big day in a row with this one here. But Anaheim's scoring. Pittsburgh's not. As long as we get Dostal. And now the thing that does concern me is not seeing that official confirmation. So if anybody in the chat can validate that for me, I'd be very happy to hear that, because it's already one unit play. But as long as Dostal's in net, that's going to get bumped up to a 2 spot. It's going to be a 2 spot for me. Shout out to Juggler 23. Got Charlotte is 3-12 against the spread at home since 2022. Tulane is 45-22 against the spread as a favorite since 2014. And our guy Gonzo's taking the Ducks as well. The Ducks should fuck. It should be a good opportunity for us to get paid to pop this card off here. Let's go to game number 2. Okay, let me see what that number was, by the way. 158. Where did I get it at? 158. All right. So it's come down, by the way, from 170 to 158. But it's just interesting to see the line is moving in that direction with this circumstances in terms of who these goaltenders look to be. Again, if anybody, I gotta find a better goaltender site. I use this piece of shit Daily Face-Off, and it's like they're late to the party. It's like, give me the confirmation and be wrong versus telling me right to the last minute that they're likely and that you're wrong. That's why, it's okay to be wrong. Just be wrong early. Don't make me wait all day for you still to be wrong. Like the other night with that St. Louis Blues up there in Ottawa. What a shit show that was. But game number 2, Ottawa's the capital of Canada. Who's the under capital of the East Coast? This Bruins-Carolina spot. And the answer? Carolina. That's right. Carolina Hurricanes love the under at home. They got the Boston Bruins rolling into town. What should be maybe a playoff type atmosphere for this game. I know it's super early, like talking playoffs already. The Hurricanes are coming back home after a lengthy road trip. This is their first game back, and they've been winning. They got a nice little 4-game win streak in their pocket right now. The Bruins, well, they beat Toronto, but they've been busted up by everybody else. Now, what does concern me, the shutout against the Flyers. They got shut out 2-0. That was a miss. TransCanada got in my head on that one. That was a straight miss, especially knowing that St. Louis is on deck next and you're at home. It's a straight hammer spot. And didn't hammer on it. But in all fairness, I don't know. Plus 140, I think, is what the Flyers were priced at that point. Goaltending-wise, we look at the net. Who's between the pipes? We got Swayman. Potentially, likely, is Kachikov. Now, the NHL's got to get some rules in place here, man. Like noon, 1 p.m. even, should be the cutoff spot for who these goaltenders are going to be. Swayman's 3-3-1 on the season. Again, he is confirmed. He's got a 3.46 goals against average, and he's got a 90% save percentage. That's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to get in there on that spot. And, his start hasn't been great. Remember, we talked about that 10-game spot in the season. They've been running this guy pretty consistently. But if he doesn't come up with wins, the question is, are they running the tires off him? Kachikov on the other side of things for Carolina Hurricanes. Anderson or Kachikov, they've been running really strong either side of things out there. Kachikov's got a 3-1 record right now. He's got a 2.76 goals against average. His save percentage is a little to be desired. He's sitting there at 89.4%. But Kachikov comes off that big game, 4-3 against Vancouver. That was 3 days ago. They're going to run back to him again this game. So they like what they see out of this guy. He's allowed 3 or fewer goals 3 times on the season as well. And I mentioned that win streak that's going on out there. Ultimately, I mentioned this being the under capital. Let me quantify that for you guys. The Carolina Hurricanes are a perfect 10-0 to the under. Home favorite off a game that went over the last game. And they have been smoking the under by over 2 goals a game. Tricky. You see Boston, you want to think over. It ain't the Boston of yesteryear. And again, that Eastern Conference capital of the NHL unders is Carolina. They're back in play tonight. Love it, especially knowing the home factor to me is the spot that I like Carolina the most as an under. But knowing that they're home favorite after a game that goes over just reinforces that spot for me to really want to jump in there. Again, another 0 spot there, a 10-0 to the under. And we got a 6. Best numbers on the card right now. 6. Minus 110 at MGM. Minus 112 at DK. And minus 114 at Bet Rivers. FanDuel, early to the party for a 5.5, is hanging a plus 112. So here's the question. Do you take the under 5.5? It's 24 cents better than the under 6. And the way I would answer that is if I had a credit book, I would take the 6. If I was at a casino or I was playing in a cash spot like a DraftKings or a FanDuel, then I would think about that 5.5. Because that margin of victory being 2+ goals warrants that 6. you're paying 24 cents for the push if it gets to a 6. Probably if it gets to a 6, it's going to blow over this thing anyway. It's be like 3-3 going into the end of the game, and they end up going to overtime. So that's how I would answer that question. If I had a cash book, under 5.5, take the plus money. If I was on a credit book's nice because it's like the local, right? You can wait the week, smash that thing, get the 2 pay 100. If you're doing 112 to win 100, feel pretty good about the damn thing. But everybody's unit size is different. Just the way that I would attack that game. People ask me that, well, when would you take that value? And we can do, the ladder rule with the half a point in football. The nickel for the point and for the half point is one thing, but you're putting that money into the casino, you want to maximize your return. And when you have a healthy margin of 2, you should feel pretty comfortable that you're in a decent spot. Game number 3, Canadians and Capitals. Big spot out there for these Capitals tonight. Coming off a big win the other night against them New York Rangers. They were pretty heavily sized dogs. They were sitting at a plus 136, and they knifed them Rangers 5-3. Interesting note, they were coming off of being shut out against Tampa. That is the model. The team that comes off a shutout goes out there and busts them up the next game, or at least scores. And they scored 5 goals against the Rangers. I think we did cautionary that. Oh. Well. My bad. My bad. My bad, C-Mac. Because it's hard to come on without the link. That's true. That is true. Let's talk about this next game, though. NHL, he gets himself teed up. My bad, C-Mac. My bad. I don't know what. Clearly, I wasn't doing the right things. But the Canadians, the Capitals, big win there, as I mentioned, against them Rangers. And just off the hop, those are spots that I like to try to fade a team. Just before we even get into the numbers. If they just came out there and we talked about the Rangers being the best team in the NHL potentially from an offensive perspective, those are spots that I want to get in there and take advantage and try to go the other way. Goaltending wise, we know that Charlie Lindgren going to be starting. Both these guys are confirmed, but Charlie Lindgren will be the starter for the Capitals. He's got a 2-2 record. He's got a .252 goals against average, and he's got an 89.5% save percentage. Serviceable. That's how I would quantify that. He's 500. He's floating around that 2.5 goals against, and he's sub 90% save percentage. Add that to the fact that just came off of the biggest win of the season against the New York Rangers. Then we look on the other side, and we got Caden Primo. Well, the Canadians just got destroyed by the Seattle Kraken. That was an 8-2 loss their last game. But I'm not totally against Caden Primo. Montembeault had to get yanked out of that game because he couldn't stop a beach ball in that previous effort. And then Caden goes in and he lets in 3 goals, 13 shots. Not great. But, 4.01 goals against average, 87.1% save percentage. I think that, they got a nice little 1-2 punch if they can fully develop Caden Primo. Montembeault's obviously the guy, but I'm not totally against this guy. I know his numbers aren't pretty. I know they're far from it, in fact. But I think I talked about this before. You're a jerk if you talk about overtime games in the beginning of the season. So I won't do that. But if I was, this game would have overtime written all over it. All the models that I ran today show this being a margin of victory of 0.2. 0.2. So both sides, by the way. Unfortunately, in the Capitals' position, the home favorite, following a home game that has rest against a conference opponent they beat the last time, are 15-0. That's not just the Capitals. That's across the NHL. As long as it's not the Bruins, they're a perfect 15-0. Home favorite, no travel, with rest against a team they've already beaten. Kind of makes sense. They own these guys. But the Canadians, in an away dog spot where the line isn't excessive, they're 50-15 on the puck line. So this is a little roll of the dice. This one's definitely a a spot that I'm excited about. I'm double dipping it. I'm taking that money line. But I'm also taking the plus 1.5 here because I do think it's a 1-goal game. I don't think this is blowout city. I expect the Canadians to win this game. This is how the way we attacked that Ducks game the other day. If it ends up being a 1-goal game, well, then we push. But if they win, we're going to turn this into 3 units, off of just over a 2.25 unit investment. And to me, great. I love that spot. If anybody's going to give you a spot, look to fade a team that just came off of a season-defining victory out there for these boys. Ovechkin hunt is real right now. Ovechkin's 37 goals away from beating Wayne Gretzky for the overall record? Start the season, I didn't think it was going to happen. As they've moved down the line, why not? Why not them? Why not Ovechkin out there? And would I rather a Russian or a Canadian have a scoring title? I'm not sure. But it doesn't look like it's going to be an American anytime soon. That being said, though, way too much value in this number, not to try to take advantage and try to get this cash. So, Sub says the Habs and the Caps are 8-2 to the over in their last 10. Kelly V's got a little spot there for us. Gotta start playing the Ovi shots on goal over. That's a good call. I wonder what his shots on goal is. See, that's why I like it. Put our heads together and try to come up with a spot that we can kick some ass and take some names. 3.5 is even money at BetMGM. I'm going to put a little note on that, KV. I'm going to put a little note on OV. Let's put that in the tracker. Let's put that in the tracking system the next couple games. Let's go the next 3 games. See what that does for us. And then decide if we want to start firing out. Mostly what I'm thinking is let's see how many shots he goes over 3.5, because I'm expecting that line's going to continue to start getting juiced, and is the opportunity 4.5s or 5.5s. That's kind of what I'm thinking about with that number. I think that's a great call. Barry's making great calls. He says, hit the thumbs up button. Please do so if you guys haven't done that just yet. Digging into the trenches here to give you guys some of these plays and these trends, trying to get us paid. All I ask you guys to do is show the support, hit that thumbs up button. And speaking of support, the Oilers will be without Connor McDavid in our next game for 8 p.m. It's the Oilers and the Predators. Where was I right? Where was I wrong? I was wrong about that Columbus team out there, man. If they go and they bust up a team, they follow it back up, busting up another team apparently out there. And they won. Big win for them against them Islanders. Shut them out. Right? Was it shutout or was it 3-1? I can't remember. The Predators, though, found some winning ways. Still trying to congeal that team out there with the addition of Steve Stamkos. And now the question is, what are the Oilers going to do with the subtraction of Connor McDavid? They're a deep team. They shouldn't have any problem filling the holes. But, you look at the goaltending options out there. What do you got? You got Swiss Cheese Man going in goal. Calvin Pickard is confirmed. He's not quite Swiss cheese, but he's got a 2.9 goals against average and an 87.5% save percentage. Obviously, they're going to look to bounce back. If you believe in that, fade the star player theory, the first game they're out, the team finds a way to step it up, then the Edmonton Oilers spot is for you. And you're catching him at a nice price tag. Get him at a plus 110 for them Oilers. You say Saros on the other side for the Predators is going out there, or unconfirmed, but likely 2.75 goals against average, 90.5% save percentage. And look, bounce back spot for these Predators. Fact, not many teams do it. We talked about St. Louis in the under when they're at home being a bounce back spot. Here's another one that you want to write down. The Nashville Predators, short conference home favorites off a loss with rest. This ain't that tinky-tunk 0.1 goal margin victory spots out there. They're 12-0. They're nuking teams by over 2.25 goals a spot. Also, they backfill it with a 43-18 spot off a loss as well. This is Nashville Predator spot for me. This is how I want to get paid. It's a little bit of a larger NHL card, but I think the bounce back situation, I don't care that the star player's out and you're going to try to fill in the McDavid hole. They've had issues beforehand. And frankly, why I can minimize that start, I almost put the tinfoil hat on and say, well, McDavid was playing like shit. And so lack of scoring, lack of production, lack of offense all it was doing was hurting the NHL's MVP and star player, the guy they're trying to do all the marketing around, because his goals per game average was dropping significantly every time he went out there and put up a dud. So give him a little rest. Give him 2 weeks off. Let him just get his head back together. Let him get his shit right. Now they're saying it's his ankle. I don't know if I buy that, though. And that to me negates the star player theory, because it's not like it was, oh my God, he's down. Are we going to be okay? He was shit in the bed beforehand. If you could have stepped in and filled the gap, you would have. But you lost. Now, they did beat Pittsburgh 4-0, and they did beat Detroit 3-2. They started to get a little momentum, but it's not enough for me. I think this is a great price for this Nashville Predators team right now. Best number out there. It's moving. She's a moving. Minus 127 at Bet Rivers. Minus 128 on FanDuel. Minus 130s across the rest of the board right now. So the Nashville Predators are taking some action here for 8 p.m. start. Irish Kings in the house. He says 5-3 Nashville final. KV sharing a little action there. College football team total over for Tulane, or Tulane minus 12.5 in a parlay. 10-17. Edmonton beat Nashville 4-2. Interesting little look there. Big Scott likes the Ovechkin over 1.5 points. That's a nice little look, especially in a game that should go over. And Dan Kelly says, I just had 3 people in their 40s trick-or-treating. What the fuck? Costumes and everything. That's where you give an apple or a toothbrush. Here you go. Here you go. You know what? I wouldn't want to trick-or-treating if I went through the effort to... you can never have enough toothbrushes, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We'll leave that there. All right. Let's get into the NBA. So there's a banger for you guys in the NHL. We got Nashville. We got Montreal at plus 192. We got Carolina, capital of the unders in the Eastern Conference, is under 6 at minus 112. The Anaheim Ducks at plus 158. And on to the NBA we roll. Let's mosey on in there. Tie up the high tops. Get ready to take it to the hardwood, because the Bucks and the Grizzlies pop off at 8 p.m. And you got 70% of the bets and 68% of the cash sitting on the Memphis Grizzlies. Sitting there, staring you down. And yet they're making it more attractive to bet the Memphis Grizzlies. Is Ja in? Is Ja out? 79% of the bets and 75% of the cash are on the over. That line has swelled 6.5 points. So there is correlated movement to the over. There is reverse line movement against the Memphis Grizzlies. Taking a scroll down the old injury row. Marcus Smart's out. Luke Kennard's out. Conchair's out. Baines out. Ja's going to be in. Vince Williams is out. Gigi Jackson is out. Chris Middleton's still out for the Bucks, and Brook Lopez is probable. He's been upgraded to probable for this game. Big center man coming in there trying to figure it out. And playing sweet for me. I saw, I don't want to overreact. They got busted up, the Bucks did, against Boston, and they've been on a little losing streak, 1-4 in their last 5 games. Yet they're opening up as a pretty good-sized road favorite. And that's the big red flag. Non-divisional road favorites in triple revenge games. Triple revenge. Non-divisional road favorite. Remember, I just said it's kind of fishy that line opened up as a decent-sized favorite as they are. Because they're 62-27. The books know these trends. When they see these 70%ers out there, they're going to price it accordingly because they don't want you to take it. They're begging you to take this Memphis Grizzlies team, and that's exactly why we're going to take this Milwaukee Bucks squad. And I see our guy's backstage, and he's ready to go. Shame on me not getting him the link in time, but let me just make a quick adjustment. One day I'll get more fluid at this. Works a lot better when there's editing going on. Miggity Mac Daddy in the house. How you doing, brother?
Mike Jones. What's going on?
What up? I'm trying
Can
to
you
make
hear
some
me?
money, dude. I can hear you just fine.
No shit. That's the point here. It's the point, baby.
That is the point. So, C-Mac, we just completed a little NHL spin around the rink. Any favorites that you have in the NHL?
I just heard a second. I think Montreal's live.
Fuck yeah.
In that game for sure, especially at plus 190. They haven't been great. Like the goaltenders have been awful. I know we're a little short on time to go, but I'm on that as well. It's already moved to 6. If you got a 6 and with decent juice, because I think they're gonna be goals, especially if they're gonna win here, Mikey. Yeah, they're gonna have to score. And so the 6 I kind of leaned over. There's 6.5s everywhere in that. But that's about it for NHL.
Just making a note. Your box is a little off. Your box is funny. It's on my side.
What about it?
Your box is
fix it?
Box is my problem. All right, how about this NBA? Any thoughts on that Bucks Grizzlies game here? Does that number seem funny to you that it's a little reverse line movement and yet Ja Morant is in and all things look to be a go?
Yeah, but you hit on it. Grizzlies, their third game in 4 nights. They lost last night. They got their ass kicked. Smart out, Bane, Gigi Jackson. I think the line's about normal. I mean, they still love this Bucks team, even with this rough start to start out with, even though they're 1-3 ATS. And I think it's a gettable game for them. They do have the Cavs on deck. I don't think it's that big. But I'd be cautious here. The one thing's the Grizzlies have been awful. And, Morant's just coming back in with the minutes, and he is in. I haven't heard he's out, right? He's in for sure.
He looks like he's
right?
In. Yep.
Yeah.
As sure as I can.
This Bucks team still doesn't play defense, and they've just continually gone to Memphis and got their ass kicked. So there's no way in hell. I like the Bucks. This is a certain spot where they could win by 10. Sure. Because I think down the line, everything Memphis is dealing with, they'll get going a little bit later. But if I had to be on the other side, I'd be on the other side. If I was at free play on this, I'd be on the Grizz.
Well, that's not what I want to hear. How about this Rockets and Dallas game? Can you make me feel any better about this one? We got 92% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the Dallas Mavericks. We've got movement. It's moved almost 2 full points now. We're starting to see some 7s out there in favor of the Mavericks. Total, 90% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the over. This line started at 226.5. It shot up to 227s, even saw a little peakage of 227.5. But in the last 45 minutes, it's come down now to 226.5. 226 is out there. People are expecting a big night out of Luka. I was a little concerned because he did have that little, he leave after the second quarter that last game? I mean, came back in for the second half, but he fucked me on a triple-double. At the end of the day, Maxi Kleber is the only guy that really – Exum and Kleber, I guess, for the Mavericks. Brooks and Whitmore on the Houston Rockets side are probable in this game. Any thoughts, side or total?
Yeah, I had to take this one. I put this out. If you got a minute, give it a like or retweet if you're on X. I went to the under here. All that money on that over. Mikey, this line hasn't moved. And from everything I've seen, both these basketball teams have just been slow. Pace of play hasn't been there. And the defenses for both these teams have been pretty good. When I look at both of those, I thought this line was just too high on the total. And this one, Mavs kind of really turned it around. We'll see. Just kind of like an over team that didn't play defense, the first 2/3 of the year kind of until they got going and made the run throughout the playoffs. And we saw them play a little bit more defense. So I just think a lot of slow down here, lower possessions. That means under in this basketball game. And I thought, like I talked about, this was a few buckets too high. So I'm on the under, 226 and a half.
I love that late last minute line movement there under was just kind of the icing on the cake for me. When Dallas covers a game by 9 or more points and the total's over at 209.5, they are a perfect 13-0 to the under in that spot as well. Seeing that movement in our direction, getting the endorsement from CMAC. Love to hear it. We're going to go Dallas under 226.5 in that game. Spurs, Jazz, Suns, Clippers. I don't have any action on that Spurs Jazz game. I don't know if you do or not. Yeah.
I don't.
I would have to think Spurs, but do you want to take the Spurs as they crossed over to a favorite now with 60% of the bets and 62% of the cash? you guys are looking for a number on that game, I do have a spot. The Spurs off a loss of 6 or more points are a perfect 11-0. You're seeing the correlated line movement on that spot as well. The total's dropping like a rock. There's reverse line movement there. 229.5 has dropped to 221s. And you have 84% of the bets and 81% of the cash on the over. Yet it is coming down. I don't know. I don't want any part of this Jazz team. I did catch a win with them. I got a win by a hook, but that was against the Grizzlies, and we just talked about the Grizzlies, and just a spot that
I had them too.
Yeah, with 2.5.
They're offering me just till they are pretty deep. They play a lot of guys, but I want to see them play a little bit better basketball. Be back on them when they get grooving a little bit at home, where they make me a ton of money. So, number one piece of garbage. Put up. I don't know what you're talking about. What line was too wide? I don't know what game he's talking about there.
I think he's referencing the aforementioned Subhuman Gaucho. Subhuman likes to talk about the line being too wide in UFC, and then every time he does, we take a shot. So maybe that's what he's mentioning. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So is that Subhuman Gaucho or his doppelganger?
I don't know who the number one piece of garbage is. But if I had to get, I don't want to put anybody out there that's not on screen with us. But if I was going to go down the list, I would start looking at that UFC 6 and go and saying, I don't know that they are. Those guys seem to be pretty straightforward without any aliases, but I certainly don't have any problem calling them pieces of garbage, especially after I get a couple cocktails in me. But I love those guys, man. So it's going to be fun Saturday. I can't wait to get in.
Get it, Mikey? You're everyone on the Bucks. I was just giving you the other side. That's all.
Yeah.
So I thought that I'm on it. But
Barry says the number one piece of garbage is the Bucks, I guess. Hey, you're a prop.
Yeah, the way they are, the way they play defense.
I know you like to dabble in the prop game here, and we have a question about the king of the court. I don't know if you've been familiar with those props that they're putting out there, but they're boosted them. Man, I missed yesterday by 1 point. 1 point. 17. I had 18 plus. Dude falls flat with a 17. What do you think? Any player props that jumped out to you? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot with these props in the NBA, but any thoughts?
No, I didn't have any player props in the NBA today. I will. Down the line. Lot of stuff going on right now. I looked at some stuff. Ben Chero, I've had him a few. He was easy money again last night. I had his points. 25.5, I think he had 31. So I'll be on him and I'll be on him more. I just didn't have anything tonight. I am on that under.
Well, I'll tell you a game that maybe correlates here. Kind of perfect timing with this prop thing because we're looking at this Suns and Clippers game. Clippers did me dirty yesterday. Busted up completely. At home, again, now 0-2 in the new digs. 86% of the bets and 87% of the cash are on the Suns. We've got reverse line movement. The line has come down to 4s in some places out there. -4s. There's some +4.5s out there too. So shop around depending on the side you're looking to get involved with here. And the totals dropped a point. This puts it in play for me with the aforementioned player prop that I was going to give you. And I'll go official with it. 221.5 has dropped to 220.5. 88% of the bets and 85% of the cash. This is a later game anyhow, so that works out well. 10:30 p.m. Player prop I'd look for is James Harden. I would look for his rebound numbers, and I would look for his over 9.5. I'll backfill that one in there right quick for you guys. Mostly because of the fact that he's got to be the big man out there now with the injury factors with Kawhi. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, and he's got to toe the load, or he's going to be taking a big load. And I think this is a toe the load spot for him tonight. When I was looking at this game and I was thinking about the Suns, how about this? Two things kind of coordinating with the Suns here. They're not covering spreads, and as gamblers, that's how we make money. They're 7-1. I'm sorry, they're 1-7 in their last 8 games against the spread. And when they're single-digit road favorites, they're 0-8 against the spread. Struggling. Can't find a way to get on top of it. I got to believe these Clippers fire back here at home. Big opportunity to get shit together and no travel spot. I know it's the second leg of a back-to-back for the Clip show here, C-Mac, but I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I just like the points in my back pocket. I think they are live dogs here to win this thing outright tonight. It's a sleepy spot for the Suns. We just talked about their ineffectiveness when they're in that single-digit range, and
Yeah.
the fucking Clippers got to be ready to roll here. What do you think?
Shout out to all right, Dan Kelly. Yeah, Ben Care. Oh, Ben Caro. I think it's pretty good. Maybe I messed it up. A lot of names. Try to get these guys down sometimes. Holy shit. You know where I go with James Harden? The points and assists, but I would just stick to the assists. As long as it was at 9, like the 9.5s, minus 110 most places, I think he's giving you 10 or more. Like, I'm not like crazy and I haven't bet that, but I think that's something to look at. I think he gets over that. I mean, he's been pretty consistent with it even to start. And last year, it was money that I went to multiple times. So if you're looking at Harden, points and assists or just as assists, anything that singular there at the 9.5, I think is good. So when you start, he gets like 10, 11.5. Now you maybe don't want to mess with the over there, but I still think it's just a little bit too low there at 9.5.
Forgive you me, because I did mean assists, not rebounds. His rebound number is 5.5.
Oh, you said.
Oh, yeah, I said rebound.
Well,
I said
oh,
9.5,
you did, yeah.
and I
Okay.
But
Okay.
9.5, the numbers I got on the assist. That was my fault. I'm still going to take the rebounds anyways at 5.5. But yeah, you talk about him stepping up in that role coming out of the, with Kawhi coming out, and he shot a lot of field goals, and that's what hurt his ability to shoot to generate the assist, because he had to kind of morph into that key man role out there. But normally he's averaging 19 field goals. He went up to 28 the last game. Pile of shit. Couldn't get the win for me, but the thing I was looking at for this guy was his double number. I can't find it offhand, but it's probably juiced. That would be my guess. Double spot for this guy. Because anytime when you see their prop bets, like 9.5 for the assist, right? Kind of to me, I start thinking to myself, well, can he get points? So 9.5 is minus 127. Is he going to get 10? The books think so. It's moved in that direction from minus 110 to minus 123s, minus 125s, and minus 126. There's even a minus 133 out there right now. So the books are moving in that direction for him and the assists. And then how's he not going to go out there and get 10 points? I mean, that's kind of the way I look at that. So what's his double price at?
I see FanDuel here minus 135.
That might not be a bad spot to.
Yeah, well, the best price for one of the prices, you could go to some other books. FanDuel has the assists minus 115. It's not bad than 9.5.
Well, I don't want to park too long on it there, but some opportunity as the evening unfolds to consider that.
What about the game here? Do you think the Clippers can cover here?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I meant to throw that up there. 4.5. Yeah. I think they're outright. I think they're dog potential here tonight. I think they do get this win, and I want, 2 baskets in my back pocket. We've seen some overtime games that have kind of stymied totals out there, and that's why I don't want to be involved on this total. But, I just think Kevin Durant's going to have himself a tough night tonight. And you look at the total points out there, 108.5, juice to the under for the Clippers. Probably suggests this is going to be a lower scoring game, but I think that fits into their marquee of the way that they're going to go out there and beat the Suns. They've got to play some defensive ball. You got to stop them. That's where I was leaning towards that rebound prop, because James Harden's going to have to be all over the floor tonight, which is going to be problematic for being an old man. But we'll see if he's got it in him. It's early in the season, so at least he doesn't have a lot of wear on the tires. You like the Clippers? Oh, you're muted.
Is Beal in tonight?
Let me look.
He was saying, they've had days off. What?
Yeah, Kawhi's out and Okogie's out, but Grayson Allen's questionable, and that's pretty much it from an action.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the back-to-back here with the Clippers, but you're getting, you're getting 4.5. So these games have been pretty close too between the two. Last year they were. So, and I don't want the Suns. I thought they looked pretty good, at home. I liked them against the Lakers, but Yeah, I agree with you. I'd be on that. I like the Harden prop better though.
Yeah. ZC got me yesterday. Who was it? Why can't I think of his name offhand? I remember thinking to myself too, if I had just taken the 16 plus, that would have been right at that, because he was in the parlay. He was in our parlay from yesterday. Why can't I? It's gonna bother me. I can't think of this dude's name now. Anyways, fuck him. He didn't get it there for me.
He said, you don't remember because he didn't get it, huh? I mean, shit.
Yeah, you either cover
That's how it
for it or you
works.
can fuck off. Or you end up like this guy over on the corner of the screen here. Captain Shitlist. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers?
Fucking guy. He's a bum. Anyways, let's go. We got a college football game here that's gonna pop off. Well, I guess we got a little time, right? 7:30, so that worked out well. Mikal Bridges, thank you. Thank you, ZC. Yeah, fuck him forever. Yeah. One fucking point. Dude, it was like, because of the way I got it juiced, it was like plus 250 for that guy. And they let me put the full bill on it. So I was like, man, that's going to be a nice little, at 17, I'm like, come on. And then just the fucking hook. Story of my life. Not really. Goes both ways, but Mikal Bridges can indefinitely fuck off for the time being. That being said, though, Tulane and Charlotte are on deck here for us, C-Mac. We know you are the co-host of the college football program taking the nation by storm and hitting the books, you and Babano. Well, you guys don't fucking read the chat? You know I was going to come in here and ask you about it.
What are you talking about?
You're fucking hitting the books. I jumped in there on Monday. I gave you guys a shout out. No fucking response.
He gave it to you at the end there. You got, hey, unless you're going after the game, our channel ain't big enough yet. So you talk the game back and forth, I'll hit you up. I have so many games to go through, Mikey. So deal with it. Shout out. Why don't you hit the like button here to all the guys? We got to get to a hundo. Only 68. Gotta hit that. Gotta hit the like button. Shout out to everyone in here. Jerry Davis, CZ. Shout out to all you guys. AOD as always.
Little reminder. That's right. Just come in here. It should be a natural process to hit the thumbs up button. Help us grow this thing one show at a time, one thumbs up at a time. Your thumbs up does matter. Your vote's going to matter this coming week. Your thumbs up's going to matter right now. And Tulane and Charlotte are taking over the college football window here. An island game for Tulane and Charlotte 49ers. The Green Wave on fire. Minus 15.5. Kind of ping pong around, C-Mac. 82% of the bets and 84% of the cash are on Charlotte. Believe that be the fact that the quarterback is back in play. The guy that's only gotten any of their wins back in the helm with Charlotte. And a total that's gone from 55.5 down to 55s and 54.5. So we have some reverse line movement. 76% of the bets and 78% of the cash are on this over. First glance, should be a dead nuts over. These teams go out there and crush it. Digging deeper, kind of thought that lack of effectiveness. Charlotte's got one move, throw the ball deep. And when they throw the ball deep, more often than not, they're getting intercepted or getting it knocked down, right? Now, if they're throwing it deep, that should minimize maybe short field possessions and turnovers that lead to touchdowns. But on the Green Wave side of things, they got probably one of the best running backs in the country. Arguably, maybe, questionable. I don't know. And that kind of plays into this part. You know, you look back at last week with that North Texas game, fucking 300 yards on the ground. They were busting him up. What's his name? Hughes? I don't know. Is it Mackay? Mackay Hughes? That's out there just running and gunning all over the fucking place. And
yeah,
I think that's going to be a problem. You know, when I was thinking about this game, I thought, you guys have heard me say it time and again, when you got a team that runs the ball strong, that wears a team down in the second half. But I kind of looked at this game, C-Mac, and I thought to myself, if you're a Charlotte team and you know Tulane's going to go out there and tick that clock away, you're probably not going to want to go out there and try to throw deep balls early, especially if you're pulling the quarterback switcherooski, which to me kind of thinks like, let's just maintain, let's manage this game. Let's try to match run for run in the first half of things. And I kind of thought, but I pulled the trigger. I was looking at this first half under. I kind of like the full game under, but I think that as this line wears down for Charlotte, that's going to open up those more explosive runs in the second half, and that number will get more wide, and Charlotte probably will end up losing this thing against the spread. But I didn't want to put my money on the full game. I just wanted to take the first half. I wanted to take that under. Give me less than 4 touchdowns. Get me the hell in and out of there. Team totals at 9.5 for the first half on the Charlotte side of things. Full game's at 19.5. You think I'm alive, or should I cash this thing out?
I don't know. It kind of last week, but with its classic North Texas fashion, down, score a couple touchdowns, and either you pushed, you could have won, wherever you got the 7.5, depending on what number you got there. So you lost by the hook? Yeah.
Yep.
I stayed off them after I won with the week before with Memphis. You know why I thought it? It wasn't enough. I was like, This needs to be like 8, 9, even 10. Like, just to feel comfortable.
Didn't it come down from 10? I thought it came down from 10 to like 8.5,
maybe
and then
from
7.
The beginning.
Yeah,
people are all over them because they've been, trendy, and that's what they do. Tulane, other than the one game against Rice, where and that was a home game, the 24-10, they've dominated and they look really good on the road. Now, North Texas UAB, some of the worst defenses in all of college football. And Charlotte's not there, but, they're 110, and they're horrible, there's the pass and the run. And they give up right around 190 on the ground. So Hughes should have a big day. And his yards are at right around 130. Someone who just put in the chat, Christopher, I get it. I mean, he hasn't had 2 TDs in 3 weeks. If that number's decent, I think, he could get 2 TDs today in this one. And he's getting one year in and year out. So I wouldn't mind a thing on over the 1.5 or the 2. I think he could get there. I don't just believe in the Charlotte team enough.
They're hanging 2 touchdowns at -110 for Hughes. 2+ touchdowns.
Yeah, it's not even plus money. Wow. Well, it's not plus money. But I think he probably gets it. That's another thing. I just don't want anything to do with this here. Tulane's been excellent. Like I talked about in those games, even when they went ULL, they put up 41. They've been able to score. So I kind of looked at them maybe look at their team total. Is this a flat spot? I've been on Charlotte. They covered just last week. So North Texas against Memphis, they've covered. I've had them 3 times where they've covered already this year. But I don't know if this offense, I think the back door could be open in this game. I think Tulane could get up. If you like Tulane early, Tulane's team total, first half, even the game. But I think they could be up, 24, 21, and there's a late touchdown for Charlotte. They've been sneaky, the Charlotte team, and they're at home. Last time they were here, they beat the shit out of ECU. They kind of hung around against North Carolina, lost by 18. They still covered in that game, 21-point dogs. They did get slapped by Indiana. But who hasn't got slapped by Indiana, Mikey?
It's one of the darlings of the
I just think it's a little tricky. And I thought that too. If Tulane does score in the 40s, I think they could still get there. Then maybe this game goes over because Charlotte could get in the 20s. But I don't know if that happens. Me too. I thought this game, I kind of liked the over. But in the end, I just didn't play it. I just had to stay off. And I wanted to be on Charlotte. And I think what I wanted to do, it's come down a little bit, but it never was over 17. And that's what I wanted. I want numbers here. It wasn't obviously 21, but I wanted 17.5 to maybe be on Charlotte a little bit, because I think those points could be a big one, especially late in this game. So tough one. The Tulane offense just rolled. It's rolled all year. And they've been, one thing I hate too is that they've been pretty good on the road. I know that it's kind of some shitty teams, but that's it. I didn't bet it, so I'm not going to give you any more dog shit here.
Well, appreciate you sparing us the dog shit. Yeah.
Well, I laid it out. I think they could score early and often, but Charlotte's been a little bit sneaky with the numbers. And because Tulane, though, I think overall they'll dominate the line. They should be able to run it and be very, very consistent like that. But, I always talk about in college football, you got to be really good. And I really got to love it to lay 2 touchdowns on the road.
Yeah.
You know how I want to go. I want to be on home dogs with 10 or more, 2 touchdowns. And it kind of just wasn't enough for Charlotte. Well, I think they could cover here tonight, though. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. So stick with the team total, maybe. It's too late. Maybe they get their points, but the cover is happy.
I literally said during that, I gave that, I think it was Saturday that they played North Texas. And I said, we're going to take North Texas. And I think the number was at 7.5. And they were down like 21-0 or something like right away. And some guys in the chat were popping off about it. And I was like, look, the way this game's going to work out is you're going to look at the end of the game and you're going to be like, whoa, what number did I get? I think I might have covered. And that's exactly what happened with that North Texas team. And shout out to you for not falling into that trap week number 2 for me on that. But I did, and I ate it. And Tulane didn't excite me in that second half, but I don't know. I just like this first half. I think they're both going to try to control the clock a little early, and then things will start to loosen up in that second. But here's a control the clock. We got a prime time game. It's only right we finish off with Thursday night football, and it's the Texans and the Jets. When they scheduled this game, who knows what they thought out there, but tons of cash coming in on the Texans. 83% of the bets and 83% of the cash. Line has not moved. Not one iota. When you look at the bigger picture, when you start looking tight lines like that and you want to think money line, 39% of the bets are on the Texans money line, but 89% of the cash on the Texans money line. The total started at 45. It's down to 43, and it's got 74% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the over. Yet prime time Thursday, we haven't necessarily seen it be an automatic under. We're starting to see a little bit more of these trends pivoting back to the overs, but we did hear there's potential wind in the air. Both these teams having mass unit injuries here. Now, this is the star player potential theory. Stefon Diggs out of the game out there. ACL injury going to be out for the rest of the season, likely to return for week 1 of next year. Maybe it was karma because he said, I'm not going to be the high road guy. If anyone's talking shit, I'll get in the low road with him and talk as much shit as I can. Nico Collins is out of that game. Damian Pierce is out of the game. You look at the Jets side of things. I mentioned Lazard. I think Lazard is probably the big move. Big move because he's such a favorite target with that New York Jets team. And, kind of picked it off from there. I don't want to be super light on the breakdown here. I'll give it to you guys. I'm on the teaser. I guess it's down now, but I got the 9 and the under 49. I do think the under's in play again for this game. The Jets are a perfect 7-0 to the under after a game where they did not throw an interception. And that is Aaron Rodgers last week did not throw an interception. And, this just leads me to my disdain for this guy. He loses the game 25-22. Big score at the end for Drake May to go out there and find a way to New England, who was pretty much down the majority of that game, held their composure, found a way to fire. And they were laying a 7 in New England in Foxborough, and yet they couldn't get it done. We know that they made the offensive coordinator change. We know that they fired the coach, made the coaching change out there. The Texans, however, find themselves in an 0-7 position when they're coming off a loss as a favorite. They got beat up by the division in the Indianapolis Colts. And now here we are. Aaron Rodgers on prime time. Can you put money on Aaron Rodgers? C-Mac, do you do it?
No, I just can't. I can't back him. I can't back them at all. I mean, maybe this is a game they could get with the Texans a little bit banged up with their line, and of course the receivers like you talked about. Now even Diggs out. Can Michi get going? I mean, he hasn't been great. I did go with the prop here. Jets have been pretty good. They've been decent against tight ends. And even if they've gotten shredded a little bit in the air, it hasn't been awful. They're still like 5th. It's more been on the ground. We'll hit that in a second. But I had to take a piece here of Dalton Schultz. I got 37.5. I still right around there, 38.5. I thought as long as they're in the 30s, I'll take it. I think he's kind of a, security blanket. And I put a little on the touchdown. He got out a little on this. He hasn't had one. Like, this guy used to be pretty good, catch touchdowns for the Cowboys. So I think he's due maybe for a little bit one. I hate saying the due factor, but at plus 360, I put a little on his touchdown. If Mixon gets his attempts 20.5, like when he's been in, if he's going to get 20 to 25, like I don't know how he doesn't get over the 78.5, 79 as rush yards in this game. And the Jets have been very mediocre against the run. That's where they've been worse. 17th, giving 125 a game. So Texans been better. Their defense gets past it. Kind of that bend but don't break defense are the Texans. Kept them in games. Even tight, they covered against Green Bay. And last week, they haven't been able to score in the red zone. The Texans. The offense is just tough times. With not being healthy, it's not easy. All teams go through, these injuries, but them full strength, their offense, they could be a lot better. Yeah, so I'm on those props. The Schultz, the receiving props there. When I go to the other side, Devontae Adams, is he going to have a big game here with Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. Here, maybe I'd go back to Wilson, and I was worried about his numbers. He had a big game. He's had a couple a little bit lower. They're both right around 63, 64. So that's always I always looked. I mean, he's been such a cash cow for me, Wilson, and I've been off since we've cashed on him a couple times. I think even the Jets were on a Thursday night, right, Mikey? He cashed, he got over it, and he had the touchdown. So I always kind of say I think he's the guy. And Devontae Adams is a little bit washed up. We will see. I mean, maybe he's not. Him and Aaron Rodgers get the old feeling back tonight. But that's it. What do you got?
So I mentioned at the start of the show, the win factors. I think KV was offering some win information for us as well. Not quite double digits,
but not that bad. Yeah, it's okay.
I think
9.
It's going to be gusty. This weather pattern up here right now with this warm, it's going to turn cold. I think that's going to lead to some gusting in the second half. But that aside, the big news here with Lazard being the favorite target that, we see that Aaron Rodgers likes to deal with out there. Yeah, Wilson's been coming in. What a great catch he had last week. Just a way to get her done. I mean, the guy's coming to life, and he should be. And that's the number one. That's the first time Aaron Rodgers has had a number one overall target in his entire career. So a first-round pick. But the guy that's been firing is Conklin. Talk about a little tight end action. Conklin's got touchdowns in 2 of his last 3 games. And with the Lazard absence, they're seeing some comfort between Aaron Rodgers and Conklin. And the thing I look at this game, there's no question Aaron Rodgers' velocity is down. You talk about Major League Baseball and these pitchers when their velocity goes down. He's old. He's not throwing the fucking bullet the way he used to, where it would hurt guys' hands to catch the ball. And maybe part of that's the Achilles. Maybe because of the way that Achilles is healing, he doesn't have the full ability to put that, the weight on the foot to really release it the way he should. And that wind is going to be a problem for him. So I like Mixon. I think Mixon's been a staple. That guy's been firing. There's no question not to get involved. The 2 touchdown parlay for me is Mixon and Conklin at plus 750. I'll say this: the Sharp report popped through for me. My boy hit me up with it with Tank Dell. Tank Dell's the guy that they're expecting to find a little success out there from a touchdown prop. So plus 170 for Tank Dell. I just don't know if we're going to see a ton of scoring. Joe T's under likes the over, but I'm going to keep it simple. I got the first half, Houston first half plus a half. Potential tied spot in this game here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Houston tied. Houston wins in the second half. That prop's probably got some meat on the bone. The plus 9 and the under 49. The 9's going to be 8.5 now, which is fine. I still think over that key number of the touchdown is huge for Houston. I can't. You guys know my disdain for Aaron Rodgers, so I'm trying to move away from the fact that guy won't see another fucking cent from me. And if he wins this game and I lose my plays, he's only going to reinforce himself. He's going to get a circle with a bullseye around it for the shit list. But Mixon and Conklin at plus 750.
Real quick, to me, that's been the strength of this Texans defense. Not that against the run they've been bad, but they've been pretty damn good against the pass and quarterbacks. I mean, going back to Josh Allen, only had 130 passing yards. Some other guy, have had a little bit more like even that Patriots game, Drake may have some junk yards, but they've held down these quarterbacks. And you know what's been key? Turnovers. They've gotten picks. Secondary's been good, which I didn't think it would be this good kind of this year. So can Aaron Rodgers and the Jets team exploit them? I haven't seen it all year long, really, and especially consistently. So, I mean, huge game for the Jets. You know, I'll be watching. Like that. I'll be watching.
We'll be watching.
Side bet.
We'll be watching. And if you haven't done so, guys, make sure you do watch Hitting the Books with our guy, Connor Mack and Ian Babano out there doing their thing, busting out college football. They do it Monday afternoon, so you got the week to check it out. It's not too late. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button for them. But C-Mac, let everybody know what's cooking, my friend. Thank you for joining us here. Another show in the books.
Another one in the books. Let's cash tonight. That's it. Go to Hitting the Books like you just talked about. Subscribe if you haven't. Give it a like. That's all we ask for. Try to give a bunch of information on the early week of college football on a Monday. And that's it. Go to Connor Mack Picks on my Twitter, X. We talked about just give me a like, retweet whenever you can. We don't have enough of it from our friends. Shout out to Kelly V. She always does. Shout out to Kelly. She wrote per request. I wasn't talking to her, but yeah, she always is great. So help everyone out. We're just trying to win money here, you know, and all get together, beat these books, you know, win day in, day out because it's a grind. So shout out to chat.
Grind it is, my friend, and nobody grinds more than yourself. I know you're doing it on the regular, and appreciate you taking the time to come in here and hang out with us tonight. Hopefully we see you this weekend. And
yeah, you're going to be live for the horses. I'll try to jump in. You're going to be live for that?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little something special this week here. We got Friday and Saturday. Keith and Ramon wanted to get involved and do a little something special for sports money. So we'll start off with a little 101 action on Friday and then pound it pretty good on Saturday. So it should be fun. I got the TVG account all gassed up. I cleaned it. I washed it.
Beautiful.
Told it was a good boy. Now I'm just waiting to see if it pays me back in the dividends I expect. So I'm sure we'll find some straps to race as well. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend, C-Mac. So appreciate all you guys. Markel, Fleet Mathis, Thomas Maggio, NJ Striker, Spenny Penny Bobs dropped some action in there for us. The real Jolly Rogers here, rocking and rolling. Jerry Davis, AOD. Appreciate you guys. Chris Sella, Brian Smith, Trisha M. Twisted popped in here. He gave you guys some action that he likes on the books here in the NHL. Dan Kelly rocking through with us. Mr. D popping through here. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Hey, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. We're listener supported. Become a member if you can. We've got member exclusive plays that we release through the weekend. And go follow us at X. It's at Sports Money Wins. When I put content, or any of us put content out there on the YouTube page, notifications can be a little delayed. So you will get the in the know information with the X page at Sports Money Wins. And check out my guy, Ramon Scott, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Then he'll be back at 5:45 p.m. And we'll do pregaming at 6 p.m. So it's getting busy. The network's heating up. And we appreciate you guys. Without you guys coming, rocking around, hanging out with us, we wouldn't be here doing it. So take that time, hit the thumbs up. Good luck with your cash. Happy Halloween. Watch this outro. It's a special little treat for